Owen Heary, standing manager tonight. Was that difficult to watch us go out of the Setanta Cup like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me as a player, me as captain of the club, it's very hard to watch. I can't legislate for the first half of that game tonight. Second half, at least they got about and put a few tackles in. But first half, that's not the way we play our Bohs. We said at the start of the year, if players want to be our Bohs, they need to play for the Jays. In the first half, they didn't do that. But the second half, at least they gave it a bit more effort.
Was it disappointing that we didn't make too many chances as well at home?
Yeah, more disappointing that we didn't have a go with them. More disappointing that we didn't put a tackle into the second half, that we stood off them, that we conceded 2 sloppy goals. And that's frustrating for me, frustrating for players that are obviously sitting there in the stand watching it. But again, it's up to the players that are playing tonight to put a performance in. They didn't do that, and they know that themselves. It doesn't need me to tell them. They accept that, and they need to put it right now on Sunday.
Speaking as a defender yourself, the manager wants us to play out from the back this season. Are the 2 centre halves finding that a bit difficult at the moment?
No, they're 2 good players. But as defenders, I always say you have to think negative. And you look at the first goal tonight. Kev had a lot of time, but because we expect them to take the ball down and deal with it, we don't cover them. As a defender, you always need to cover. So it's soon, even if he has a free header or he's plenty of time with the ball, you need to be covering as the other centre half or as a full back. And that's something that we haven't been doing maybe in the last couple of weeks. But again, they're young and they'll learn, and I'm sure we'll be able to teach them along the way.
And Pender was sent off late on as well. Did you feel that was deserved at all?
No, I talked to the referee, and in fairness to the ref, he says he has to go with a letter of the law because he's been assessed, and if he doesn't do it properly, he gets into trouble. I don't think it's a yellow card. I mean, he took it on his chest and went for a strike, and the fella's head came in. It's a free out, no more, just a warning, get on with it. But again, as the referee says, if he doesn't stick to the letter of the law, he gets into trouble, and it's frustrating, because over the last couple of weeks I've seen yellow cards given when they're not yellow cards, sending offs that aren't sending offs, and then referees giving out about a strip of tape around the shorts or a strip of tape around the socks or underarm or being wrong, and it's frustrating. And when you say to them, you say, well, they have to stick to the letter of the law. Yet you see in other leagues around the world players or referees are in the same jersey as goalkeepers, all different tapes around the socks, and it's just frustrating.
And we changed things a little in the second half tonight with Feely going in front. Was that just to have a look at that?
No, well, Aaron sitting in the stand, and he told us to change things, and he made a personnel switch. I mean, he was always in contact with us, so that was the decision. We wanted to get someone up to challenge their centre halves because they were winning everything to 2 centre halves. Kev is not bad when he goes up front, and in fairness to him, he won a lot of headers, and we were hoping maybe just to get the second ball and get a goal out of it, but fortunately we didn't.
Finally, you're probably looking back to getting on the pitch on Sunday. How do you see this going against Pats?
Well, hopefully a win. We need a win badly. We need a goal. As I said, if it takes a fluky 1-0 win, I'll settle for that. But we definitely need to put in a better performance than what we did in the first half tonight.
Alright, thanks for your time.
No bother, thanks very much.